Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City. And this is a new adaptation of the Resident Evil video games. This is based off of the first two games kind of combined together. And rebooting this franchise that had been controlled by Paul W.S. Anderson and Milla Jovovich for years, and now trying to get back to the basics of what this game franchise really was, which is absolutely terrifying. I would watch my brother or my stepbrothers playing this when I was younger, and it freaked me the hell out. And does this film freak me the hell out? A little bit. Just a little bit. But here's the thing. This is still a disappointment. And that sucks to say, but you have writer-director Johannes Roberts, who I thought did fine work with the 47 Meters Down films. And you could definitely tell in this film there's moments where they're really leaning on building up tension and suspense instead of just terrible jump scares. And some of it worked. You have moments where you're building up in the shadows and building up to freaky moments. And like the opening sequence, which takes place where Claire and Chris Redfield are both in an orphanage, and there's this strange little girl that keeps connecting with Claire, and there's some tension building up there. There's some suspense. There's other scenes later in the film where it's like pitch black and trying to figure out how he's going to get out of all these zombies attacking and stuff like that. But then there's also moments where it's just like you can't tell what the hell's going on because the camera's cutting so much. So there's a bit of a balance between really positive and really negative aspects of the actual filmmaking that goes into this. And still, what made Resident Evil so terrifying is next to invincible creatures and no ammo. And yet you still have, like, you know, big heavy artillery, like people shooting machine guns everywhere and shotguns and stuff like that. Kind of takes the tension out of it. The tension of the games really worked because it was a survival game. And this, you definitely get back towards more of that. And like, I didn't catch all the references and stuff like that because I haven't really actually played the games. But my friend John, who I went with, my other brother, was able to fill me in while watching the film and afterwards. But the thing is, it's like you get this story, which is very straightforward, pretty predictable. You get where point A to point B is going to be by the end of the film. And you also kind of get what the twist in terms of like, what's really going on here? It's like, oh, Umbrella Corporation's a bunch of assholes and are poisoning people and turning into zombies and creatures and weird stuff like that. And you definitely get some of the big creatures from like the game, which was interesting. But the thing is, the CGI is pretty bad. The practical effects, which they use as much as possible, do work. When they go full-blown CGI, not so great. Not so great. You can see the budget showing through. And then you have this characters, which like none of the characters are interesting. You introduce all these characters from the game, and basically like Hannah John-Kamen gives Jill Valentine some personality, and I liked her. But you have like Kaya Scodelario, who plays Claire, was just flat and bored and lifeless. And Robbie Amell, very flat and lifeless. And who, like, Chris Redfield's not even in the movie that much as you would think. Donal Logue's having fun as the Chief Irons. He's enjoyable to watch. Tom Hooper, his accent was really off a decent amount. And, like, you could tell where Wesker, that character, was going. And then Avan Jogia, who plays Leon, is just such a ween and like so uninteresting and just like, oh, I'm a rookie, I don't know what I'm doing. And that's basically the character being played. And you have Neal McDonough, who's this evil doctor guy who definitely hams it up at times, and he's having some fun. But like in general, this film is an easily digestible watch, but also disappointing. The script's really weak. The dialogue's terrible. Like, not great, not good at all. And in the end, I just felt like this was a really disappointing experience, especially because all these years with the Paul W.S. Anderson Resident Evil films, I was kind of hoping to see, like, real Resident Evil. And you kind of do. Story-wise, and characters, but with no character. and not enough tension. So in the end, there's some things to admire about it. I think they did some things really fine. And then most of it's just a bit of a wash. But in the end, I don't know if I would highly recommend this or not. Like, if you just want if you just want some, like, zombie action, like, yeah, sure, why not? And you want to catch a movie like this, go check it out in theaters. Otherwise, I don't know, maybe wait for streaming, if that. They're definitely setting up for a franchise, mid-credit scene. But the thing is, it's like, I don't know how excited I am about it. Hopefully, if they do make it, they'll do better. But those are my thoughts on Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.